Hey guys. Alright, so I didn't get a chance to get on here yesterday at all. I had a lot going on. Hang on. Alright, sorry guys. Leanne came over and gave me, had to talk to me about a couple things, so. Anyway, so I started something last night. Actually, have a couple of more homestead projects going on here. I decided to, after going through my Pinterest and looking at some things, I don't know when it's going to be ready. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on it. I decided to create a Faith First Farm and Homestead planner, journal and planner. The title of it is Faith First Farm and Homestead Complete Homestead Garden Journal and Planner. Now, I'm going to try to include everything in here. So it's going to take a while to get it put together. And I downloaded OneNote from Microsoft on my computer. And when I start working on it, I'm going to use that to, like put the sections and stuff like that together. Eventually, when it gets done, it will be available through our store, which I haven't gotten done yet. I have to get to the post office and get some things weighed, find out how much, things are going to cost. Anyway, I have to get my envelope mailers and find out how much it'll cost to mail out the t-shirts, find out how much it'll cost to mail out the glasses. And I have to put the weight on it. I have to put the measurements of the boxes for the glasses, the measurements of the packages for the t-shirts. I have to put, all of that I have to include on the store, so it's going to be a minute before I get that up and going, but a digital project or a digital product you could easily add to the store. But again, it's going to be a minute, so. Anyway, so this is the design, obviously, is not done. It includes our Faith First Farm and Homestead picture. This is watercolor. It, didn't do real great on a notebook, but, hey. And the first page of it says, I took a verse, Proverbs 31:25. Remember, faith first. That's what we are. She is clothed in strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. Proverbs 31:25. It caught my eye, and I just decided to add it to the planner. And then I've got a table of contents, which I'm going to change. This is just kind of the beginning right now. This is some of the things that's going to be in it. Calendars, of course, to-do lists, homemade cleaners and cleaning schedules, finances and expenses, contacts, like an actual contact list with name, address, phone, email, that kind of thing. I might actually make it to where, like you can add passwords and that kind of thing to it, or just maybe include a part like that in there. Animals, care and costs, gardening, and there's going to be a whole bunch of like little sub things under gardening. Travel, I'm not sure if I'm going to even do that one. I don't, there's miscellaneous, like I said, there's other things I want to put in here, so. Again, it's going to take a while. I went out and bought a heavyweight paper for wet and dry artwork. And I'm going to use this to do the picture for it on. So there's that. And then, of course, I've got the recipe book that I want to do. And I'll probably do the painting for that in that pad as well. Gonna be a little bit before we can get our income taxes. There was a mess up. We got sent the wrong W-2 form from McDonald's, unfortunately. It's one of the t-shirts I still have to do. Anyway. So, I have some projects going. Like I said, I've got the recipe book. That, I do believe, is in here. Nope. Yep. This one right here. Faith First Farm and Homestead's Eatery and Recipes. So I've got that, and I want to do the journal, the planner, the journal, yeah. So I should be able to get some more glasses soon. Family Dollar has 7, not 8, 7. I'm gonna try to see if I can find another one that's, fairly the same anyway. But so I'm gonna be, working on. My hair is such a mess. Sorry, you guys. Anyway, I'm gonna be working on quite a few different things here, and eventually that'll be available. Once we get, things going on the property, maybe by next year or by the end of this year. I'll try to see if I can have it by the end of this year. It is a digital product. Calendars that can be bought of like pictures and stuff we've taken on the homestead. Different things that we've done, maybe some of our animals, that kind of thing. So, anyway. So, that's just some stuff that's going on, and, projects that we've got going on right now. Plus, I'm in the process of trying to get more fabric. So I can work on the quilt. So, getting back into the book now. I told you guys I'd be getting into making more videos, doing more videos today. So, here we go on growing your own beer. Alright. Homebrewers today can buy most of what they need in homebrew supply stores, and this is a great convenience for all concerned. But if you have a little land or even a sunny porch, you can grow enough of your own hops, herbs, and adjuncts to make a real contribution to the flavor, aroma, and uniqueness of your own home brew. Everything you need to make beer can be grown in garden-sized plots, including grains for malting. Barley in your backyard. Growing some of your own grains for home brewing will seem excessive to some people, but it's really not that complicated. A standard garden-sized plot of 800 square feet can easily produce enough barley in 1 year for 5 full, all-grain, 5-gallon batches. It can produce enough for at least 30 homebrew batches if you use a partial mash recipe. The greatest advantage of home malting, whether or not you grow the grain yourself, beyond the simple satisfaction of the act, is that you can bring the cost of brewing a batch of beer down to almost nothing. Unmalted grain from a local farmer or feed store costs pennies a pound. With a little work, you can transform the humble material into the finest, freshest beer-making malt available. Barley is the king of all beer-making grains. Most barley is now used for animal feed. Up to a third of the barley grown in the United States is for malting. This barley is mostly bearded 6-row varieties in the upper Midwest and 2-row varieties grown in the Pacific Northwest and Great Plains regions. The terms 6-row and 2-row refer to the number of rows of seeds on the spike of the seed head. Alright. Small plot, big yield. A plot of ground measuring 20 by 40 feet will produce a bushel of barley in one planting. Since a bushel weighs approximately 47 pounds, one crop of barley on an average garden plot can produce the grain ingredients for up to 5 batches of all-grain beer or 30 or more batches of extract or partial mash. On a smaller scale of growing intensively in good garden soil and raised beds with frequent watering and good sun, a grower can expect roughly 5 to 15 pounds of grain per 10 by 10 foot bed. Okay. The greatest... Okay. Harvest. When the grain is ready to harvest, the stalk should be golden. The individual grains should be hardening and difficult to dent with a fingernail, but not brittle. They will have lost about 30% of their water content at this point. The ears will be bent over, the grains will be pale yellow and will easily pull off the head. Wait until the grains are perfectly mature before cutting the stalks and curing them in the field. The stalks will need to be threshed, bashing bundles of grain to separate the grains from the dried seed heads, and winnowed using a fan to blow away the chaff, before they can be used for malting. Store the grain in burlap sacks in a cool cellar until it's needed. Okay, homegrown hops. All right, there's the barley right there, and then there's the hops. Although hops aren't grains like barley, they are a major ingredient in beer making. They're also attractive plants that make great arbors, wreaths, and arrangements. Every home brewer who owns a piece of land should try his or her hand at growing a few hop vines. When you grow your own hops, you can pick them at their absolute peak of readiness. My throat is dry, sorry. Okay. As soon as hops are picked, they start to lose the essential oils needed for good flavor and aroma. The best way to know that hops haven't been sitting on a shelf for a year is to grow your own. Commercial whole hops, the least processed form available, have been cut down, run through a packing machine, dried, baled, shipped, repackaged, and shipped again before reaching the homebrew store. Inevitably, some of the hops' bitter resins and essential oils are lost during processing. Your own hops will never have to run the gauntlet, making them fresher, more aromatic, and better for brewing than any you could buy. The aroma alone will be enough to convert you, to say nothing of the flavor. And hops are also medicinal. So I will probably end up growing some because of that. But I'm not making beer. Gross. Harvest. Hop cones should be picked at their peak of readiness, which means that you have to pay attention to how they are developing. The most obvious sign of readiness is the development of lupulin glands, small yellow grains clinging to the base of the bracts. A mature hop cone will be heavy with this yellow powder. When you begin to suspect the hops are nearing maturity, pick a cone and pull it or cut it open. The lupulin should be a dark yellow gold, and there should be a strong hop aroma. If you want to dry your crop, do it as quickly as possible after the harvest to preserve the essential hop oils. Warmth, no sunlight, and good air circulation are all that's required. Once the hops are picked, they should never again be placed in direct sunlight or even strong artificial light. Light-struck hops will impart skunky off flavor to beer. Gross. Once the hops are completely dry, seal in freezer bags with as much air as possible squeezed out. If you plan to use the hops right away, you can place them in the refrigerator, otherwise freeze all the bags. Alright. So that was growing your own beer. And the next one is basic barley malting. So I'll go ahead and I'll get off from here, I'll get this up there, and I will see you guys in a few minutes on the next video. Bye, guys.